Sublime magnificence.
Five, four, Hey guys, you know who it is, what's going on, what is happening, where it's happening, why we're here today. How you doing? It is
Yeah,
I, the still lively magnificent Omari. I was Sam Crotney on YouTube, back with another episode of This Guy Hasn't Seen, and
yeah.
as always, am joined by my co-host and runnermate, one of my best friends in the world, El Director himself, Bill Smith.
Yeah.
Hey, Omari, thank you
Nonetheless.
for having me back. As always, love being here, love doing this thing, trading these movies back and forth. One guy has seen it, the other one hasn't. It's like a book club, with movies. You see, last week you made me watch the Eddie Murphy documentary that was released in 2025 on Netflix. And through that, we learned that you hadn't seen a movie called Trading Places.
That is
So this
correct.
week, I made you watch that.
Yeah.
Trading Places from 1983, rated R, a snobbish Wall Street commodities broker and a wily street hustler find their positions reversed as part of a bet by two callous millionaire brothers who run a brokerage firm. It is directed by John Landis. It is written by Timothy Harris and Herschel Weingrod, and it stars Eddie Murphy, Daniel Aykroyd, Ralph Bellamy, and many more. Omari, why have you never seen Trading Places?
I aside from I don't know, it was more of a yeah, I'll watch that one day. It just didn't seem like a movie about I felt like I knew what the movie was when I heard the premise. And I didn't I judged it wrong, kinda. But I thought it was just more of a but also judged it right. I didn't think it'd go the way it went. Whatever. Bottom line is, it didn't seem like something I wanted to spend 2 hours watching. Like it's probably funny with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd, but I was always more of a Eddie Murphy. Like while I've always agreed with the Eddie Murphy thing, Dan Aykroyd's been kind of hit or miss for me, at least growing up. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
now as an adult, I've seen more funny stuff from him, but for the most part, he's always been kind of like hit or miss for me. So it's like, I'll get around to
Yep.
watching it, and just never did. Just kind of forever on the back burner until now. But now I have seen it. I'm assuming you've seen it a lot.
Yeah, this is one of those where like I don't know how you physically don't see this kind of thing.
Like I've
Like
seen
it's
clips and stuff, but not the
like
whole movie.
I know, but like even like it's like and despite it being a co-starring Eddie Murphy, maybe it's just kind of another like a white people shit kind of thing of like it's like Caddyshack. I'd be willing to bet that like for almost every white person in America, I don't know if this is the case for a black household, but like you didn't watch Caddyshack. It was just constantly it was a part of the ecosystem kind of thing. Like it
Fair.
like I
I've
couldn't tell
heard
you how many
Caddyshack and
times
stuff. I
like
haven't.
we've all watched Caddyshack, but like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like it's
No,
like,
it took this show for
or,
me to watch Caddyshack.
okay, right. Well, like I'm saying,
So
like,
I'm just saying when you made that other part of your point, like I don't know if it's like this whole idea. Like, well, I mean, maybe, I don't fucking know.
but yeah, I can't tell you the time that I saw Trading Places. Like it was just, it's a forever movie. It's one of those, and like not to spoil my thoughts on it or anything like that, but like it is a classic. Like it's one of the great American comedies kind of thing. So like it's just one of those that I've
Yeah, I will
I've
say I
seen
do.
this on the level that I've seen The Mask and that kind of thing.
Gotcha. I've seen so with Eddie Murphy movies in the 80s, I was more Coming to America and Coming to America and Coming to America
Hmm.
and Coming to America.
Did
I've
anybody
seen that
did
a lot.
anybody ever tell you that you didn't have to choose? Like at what point in your childhood
It wasn't even that. It was just
did somebody say, Omar, you can watch other movies. Like Coming
well
to
we
America will still be there.
we
You
made
might
the
also
point.
like blank.
We made the point that on this show that sometimes when you're about to watch something, you either think of like, hey, I'm going to watch this thing I've watched something I'm going to watch this new thing. Time to watch it. And before you know it, you go right back to the old reliable. That's all it was. It wasn't so much
No, yeah,
picking
that's true.
sides with any Murphy movies. It was just Coming to America. Well, it's kind of like The Mask, where I was like, where we kind of came to the conclusion that I can't watch that movie in an unbiased manner. I'm
Right.
going to enjoy every minute of it. Coming to America is the same thing for me. I was
Hmm.
like, I feel like laughing. Ah,
I
this
mean,
part.
I'd like to see the person who wants to say something different. Like, I'll fight you on it. I just had a conversation with a really good friend of mine who I said like it was something 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 the mask, like I referred to the mask, and then he chose that moment to kind of make a little bit of an underhanded dig at the mask, but not just an underhanded dig. It like the way it was framed was a like we all know this kind of thing of like we all know that the mask is mid kind of thing like that. And I was like I just like stopped the entire situation. It was like, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I need to clarify something here. Are you serious? Are you being serious right now? Or are you joking about like is the joke a joke? Is it a joke on a joke thing? Or are you being do you think the mask is mid? And he was like, yeah. Like don't it's the mask. I mean, really? Like Jim Carrey? And I was like, yeah. The Mask is one of the great comedies of all time.
Yeah.
And I'll fight you. I'll fucking fight you on it right now. Like let's go.
Run them hands.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
And I was like what is a great comedy? What are some of your best comedies? And he's like uh um something funny happened on the way to the forum, and I was like, you fucking nerd, get the fuck, that's not actually your favorite comedy. You want to be a fucking nerd. Like you want to be a
The
fucking
fuck is
nerd and
something?
think that people are going to think you're cool, but actually everyone thinks that you're a fucking idiot right now because I just asked you what your favorite comedy is, and you just said a movie that none of those people fucking know. Like you're a fucking idiot.
Who the
Like I
fuck?
went
What the
off.
hell? Yeah, I don't know that movie. What?
Don't come at me in these streets. You think I go after Super Jazz hard? You think I go after Super Jazz hard? Come at me in these
Super
streets. I
Jazz
will.
thinks we go after Super Jazz, huh?
Super Jazz, I think you maybe you're watching this because it's Trading Places and you've seen it. So now you're tuning in. If you haven't seen it, then you're like Omari and
Nah, Super Jazz has seen it. Super Jazz has seen far more movies than I.
uh I
Look, wrestling trivia apparently, and
this
movie
should prove to
trivia.
you
Y'all
that
got
I'm
me.
coming hard at everyone. Coming hard at everyone.
Yeah,
Like you are allowed to have opinions, but then there are things that are subjectively on they're not even subjective anymore. They're objectively on one side of the scale or the other.
agreed.
And if you're vehemently on the other side of me, then
Yeah, you are perfectly
I'm gonna fight
allowed to
you on it.
have the wrong opinion. You are perfectly allowed to have the wrong opinion. It's a free world. Do that. You be
Unless it's
stupid.
egregious.
You be stupid. You be.
Unless it's egregious, and then I'm gonna come at you.
No, 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 no. You have the right to come at them about They have the right to know their opinion is wrong. They can
Yeah,
still have it, but they have the right to know it's the
absolutely.
wrong opinion.
Absolutely. That's cancel culture.
Yeah. What?
Well, I'm just saying that's that whole free speech
Oh.
discussion of like, yeah, bro, you absolutely have the free speech to say whatever you want. And then everyone else on the internet has the free speech to absolutely tell you that you're an asshole or not.
Oh yeah,
And
that
and that
that much, sure.
and that scale may be on one side or the other kind of thing of like but we are, and then suddenly that's when you're getting demonized. It's like, no, bro, that's still free speech. Like,
Yeah. But this
Dave
movie,
Chappelle.
Trading Places.
I
Hey,
called out Dave
I
Chappelle last week, so I just and
yeah.
yeah, it was the same topic.
Uh,
But I also gave him a humongous things of flowers while I was like, blah 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 blah, because I got to, because I gotta respect the work he does. The man makes art, just like the movie that we're covering today. Dan Aykroyd, Eddie Murphy, starring in Trading Places. I believe the documentary covered the story that this was originally going to be a Gene Wilder, Richard Pryor film, and then things happened in Richard Pryor's
mhm.
life to
Yeah.
where they had to put the movie on pause. Eventually, just ended up reworking it into this Dan Aykroyd Eddie Murphy vehicle. Um, we talked about how you hadn't seen it. We talked about how I have seen it more times than I can possibly count. So let's just jump right into it.
Yeah, that opening intro lasts for fucking ever. Of them just playing the like orchestral music, so you could just be like, "Look at these rich motherfuckers be rich."
It's a very pomp and circumstance score. Like it's a lot of like big brassy New
Yeah,
York, Philadelphia, New Year's, Christmas. It feels
yeah,
the
it's a
score kind
Christmas.
of matches that. Yeah.
I didn't know this was a Christmas movie.
I mean, there are several. I was having the discussion with my wife. There's it takes place in Christmas time, so there's a lot of trees there's a lot of Christmas trees and Christmas decoration everywhere. And then there are the two very prominent Christmas moments. I would say of Eddie Murphy's opening scene, where he literally crawls. Like it's a very memorable image of him portraying
The homeless individual.
the blind veteran, and he's Merry Christmas, and then the second one is probably Dan Aykroyd's Santa suit adventure. um so I mean, those are two big moments in the film,
That are heavily
beyond
Christmas themed.
just
Christmas was even a deadline at one point. Had
right,
to get it
beyond
done by
just
Christmas.
Christmas trees being in the background of several shots, and characters decorating Christmas trees, wishing each other Merry Christmas casually. Those, so I mean, I mean, it doesn't have,
Christmas values.
not necessarily,
It could
no.
be, it's just Scrooge still gets screwed over in the end. You know, God blesses everyone else. So, but no, the movie, I like the the opening was kind of slow for me, but like I said, I understood the joke behind it. I like Eddie Murphy's intro scene. Like you said, everyone's familiar with it. And even everything leading up to like those first few scenes of his character, where you see him doing his Eddie Murphy smooth talking people and just like, oh, you didn't know? I just saw stuff. Man, you better tell these motherfuckers. Oh, I love those guys in the jail too.
Yeah, yeah.
The yeah. No, I love those guys. But I knew I had heard something about the premise being like the rich dudes talking about like screwing some guy over, and I knew that the guy that got screwed over was Eddie Murphy. Like I had always thought Eddie was in on it, on the screwing over Dan Aykroyd. But I
Uh-huh.
think that's just because of all the clips, that I've seen out of context, and with Dan Aykroyd's character being convinced for the majority of the movie that it was Eddie behind it. In a lot of clips, he's outright accusing Eddie. So it's like, now I see why I probably thought Eddie was in on it. And I've seen the parody thing about the $1 being how much the wager was for. So the second they said the usual amount, I'm like, oh wait, is this the $1 bet thing? I bet this is. Um, no, like it was good. It was a great movie. I enjoyed it. I also like the Butler character as well as Jamie Lee Curtis. I think the side characters do a real good job in this movie.
They do. The Butler character is really good. Yeah, like um after Eddie Murphy's character has the party at his new house and makes everyone go home, and then just the all right, I am gonna go to bed. Hey, thanks, man. See you in the morning. And the look on the butler's face, like you instantly know that like that's the first time that anybody's thanked him. And like yeah, it's I really enjoy the butler. um there's I mean, watching it as an adult, obviously there's a little frustration on my part for Jamie Lee Curtis's character because Winthrop takes so long to be redeemable, if he ever really is. Um,
Yeah, I was wondering that too, because I'm like, there's a point where I'm like, poor Winthrop when the stuff's going happening to him. But then I'm like, even then, that's only kinda because he did just kind of first see Eddie Murphy and just go straight to, you're stealing my briefcase. I'm gonna ignore you telling me you're not stealing my briefcase, cause a bigger
right.
scene and get you arrested. So that
Well,
racism's still
yeah,
there.
there
But
comes a point like when you're watching the movie from the audience perspective, there comes a point where you're where you're no longer like, yeah, you take that, and you're like, oh, you're just like you literally destroying this man's life. Like
for
it's
no reason.
it's over for him, kind of like, and it's like obviously he's not a great person. But it is the discussion of the film of like product of environment thing. If he's a fucking white bread asshole that's only been surrounded by white bread assholes and
Soft
then
hands.
went to super white bread asshole school and graduated with honors to become super white bread asshole manager thing, like, I mean, pretty like he doesn't make eye contact with any of his staff.
Hmm.
Like they make that, like, the opening is very clear about trying to show you what, and like that's one of the big negatives that we get, because like otherwise it's purely Dan Aykroyd's performance of just being this snooty guy that we all imagine exists. Like none of us know in real life, but we all assume some one of these guys, we know in our gut that these guys exist out there, kind of thing. And but like in reality, the terrible things that he does is that he doesn't make eye contact with any of his service staff, and then he immediately has, racist leaning biases and tendencies in his interaction with Eddie Murphy's character.
Yeah.
That is, other than just being the man that he is, who is just someone who does a weird job that earns him a shit ton of money for a reason that none of us really understand or probably doesn't need to exist, kind of thing. Uh like other than that, he's not actively doing bad things. Like all of the
Yeah.
things that destroy his life, they had to make up.
Yeah.
you know?
That's why I'm
Uh
like poor Winthrop, and then I'm like kind of, but yeah, poor. I
it's
feel like I shouldn't feel sorry for him, but I kind of do because of all the stuff they
well,
keep
yeah, we
doing.
absolutely should, but it's intentional for the movie because they have to make that kind of character for us to feel good at the third act. But
Yeah.
like the movie does a really good job of, and I gotta credit Dan Aykroyd's performance as I hadn't thought about it from his perspective before until talking this out right now. But I feel like it's obviously the filmmakers and then Dan Aykroyd making us hate him. But we don't, other than that moment with Eddie Murphy, which is just scared racist tendencies white guy, like that we've seen a million times depicted in the real world and in the fictional world. Um, like
Yeah.
what else? What else is he doing other than being rich? And we don't like rich people.
Well,
We
yeah,
don't
eat
like
the rich
too
and all
rich of
that.
people. Like this is too rich. Like where you're like you're stay. I mean, like because like yes, it's awful that he just stands there at the door and for what feel intentionally what feels like too long of a time as he's waiting for his butler to close the main house doors and put on his driving gloves and then walk over to the passenger door and finally open the car door for him. It's intentional. That length of time is, I got to imagine, very intentional. And it's because those are one of the few things that we have to establish to get us in the mindset of, yeah, this man needs his comeuppance. And then once it starts happening, we very quickly are like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, not, no, not that far. Hold on. No.
Jesus. Yeah, it just comes out of the fucking thing, and the girl's just like, "What's up with him?" And the fucking Jamie Lee Curtis screws him over in front of his fiance, just talking about how much she wants drugs. Like, what? The guy said you'd enjoy it.
That's the moment where it like gets hard to watch. Like
Yeah,
that's where because it's I mean it is the peak of like we are destroying your life. But yeah, that's that scene is really hard to watch. And then when he makes his very final last ditch effort going back to the country club,
with their
which
fucking 50s ass acapella singing,
right,
"Oh,
which that has been
hero."
parodied a billion times. I'm sure you've seen that in some sort of form of a sketch and not realize that that was the reference. Um, but yeah, that's fucking it's so fucking ridiculous.
I just think I'm like, well, this 50s ass acapella, and
Yep,
just
this is
it's
what
just
rich
like a
people do.
scene out of fucking Happy Days, just the
Amari,
girls and
I swear to
everything.
God, and it's the exact same fucking thing. Like they don't because they don't evolve. They don't evolve. The literally the exact same thing is going to happen this Saturday at the fucking Legends golf course in Eureka at
Oh,
like those four women dressed almost the exact same way, and then there's going to be four guys dressed almost the exact same way, and they're not going to sing that song, but it's going to be something like that. And it's going to fucking happen this Saturday. I swear to God, because they don't evolve. They're it's the exact same.
okay.
Yeah, it gives off weird vibes. Gives off weird vibes.
Mhm. Um, oh, I did. Speaking of the yeah guys, I liked his line where he was like, "You know, it's bad to be a jive turkey this close to Thanksgiving."
Yeah.
I'm like, some of the stuff they say in this movie definitely makes it a product of its time, for better or worse. Um, but yeah, no, I enjoyed it,
Do you
and I
know
like just a lot of the little character
do you know
moments
what those
throughout.
do you know what those characters' names are?
No, he said it once, and I didn't remember.
Um the um their name Big Black Guy and Even Bigger Black Guy.
Really? According to IMDb, they're
Yeah.
big black guy and even bigger black guy.
Yep.
That's that's fantastic. That is what that is. That's hilarious to me.
Yep.
Product bookers die for better or worse. I love it.
It ain't cool being no jive turkey so
It
close to
ain't.
Thanksgiving. According to IMDb, the person who said that line is even bigger black guy. It was a stone groove, my man. You are the most righteous.
Big black guy and even bigger black guy. That's probably my favorite thing about this movie right now. That's hilarious. Anyway, no, that stuff was cool. The you mentioned the drunk Santa. There was also the fucking train car of stereotypes, which
I was
better or
wondering if
worse.
they were going to. I was trying to as the scene was leading up, and like I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember the order of things. Obviously, from a comedy perspective, you build to the blackface. I should have known that from the start. But as the like this the operative guy opens the door and reveals the train car room, I was like, oh, okay. I wonder if this is in this current version or if it's something that they've done like a post edit re-release, like let's
Yeah.
update all the digital libraries to this
No.
version kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. Um and then when I didn't remember the full play out of the scene. So when they swap the cases and then Eddie Murphy goes down the hall and hands at that point I'm like, wow, did they really cut it out? And then the second I vocalize it to Jen of like, I think there's something that they maybe cut out. Never mind. Nope. Never mind. Never mind.
I'm not gonna lie, I laughed. I laughed at the whole fucking scene. Like, because it's one of those things where, like, I kind of figured the train car had the potential to be funny. Eddie Murphy comes out doing his thing, and I'm like,
I
okay.
laughed I laughed my ass off at Eddie Murphy's bit. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
I thought it was funny with, no, yeah, I found Eddie Murphy funnier than Dan Aykroyd, but I still laughed that they did what they did. Um, he And then, what's her name comes in. She's like, "Oh, I'm from Sweden." Yeah. He's like, "But you're wearing lederhosen and dress like you're from Austria." But I'm Swedish. Yeah. And then they kept that going as a joke, even when they were leaving in the gorilla costume guys like trying to hit on her. He's like, "Guten Tag, Fräulein." No, I'm Swedish. Like, okay, so the joke isn't necessarily on the fact that it's not just a stereotype, it's also that she's too
Is that they're
stupid
bad
to
at this.
realize. Yeah, and she's too stupid to realize that that's not what she's got right. And then you got the fucking
Also, they're at like the train is actively having a costume party. You
you
don't
don't
have
need to
to
do
you don't have to
that.
be characters. You could just wear costumes.
That's also true. You don't have to do the character.
You don't have to be a Swedish lady. He doesn't know who you are. You could just be dressed like that. But I guess from a character perspective,
Yeah,
this is 1983. The bad guy
1983.
knows what I look like. I need to transform my face, and the age of like silicone prosthesis and stuff is really only like knowledgeable by like two dudes in the world at this point.
Yeah.
Um, so like what's a white boy to do other than paint his face blue?
No, yeah, that was crazy. But I was like, I laughed more at the shock value, but then it's like, yeah, this definitely does not. This is probably one of those things that he doesn't want people bringing up when they talk about it. Because and it's different, and I don't want people to be like, "But you laughed at Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder." Again, two different things. I'm not getting into it right now. That said,
I mean I don't know,
I
it's
considered it
weird.
more along the lines of the Tropic Thunder thing, where it's like, yes, it is textbook definition, blackface in the sense that it's a white person pretending to be a black person, but it's like that thing with Drewski a while back. If we're fine with him doing
Yeah.
the "I'm a white guy" tractor,
Like there is character motivation behind behind what happens. Like I
yeah.
just said, like I just tried to explain it the best I could, and that's
Hmm.
still just like
And they had the
the
whole like, oh, we were foreign exchange students, bully cabal, whatever they said. That's what I meant when I'm like, I laughed. They had like a little. It seemed
yeah,
like
they had a
they
fun
were in
thing.
on it. It wasn't like
Well,
he
and that's
shocked
what I'm
him
saying.
and
Like
stuff.
I don't want to be the white guy having this debate, but like like I'm not smart enough to know what, because I think that that is indirectly offensive
Yeah.
and indirectly in poor taste, but I'm not smart enough to be able to draw those lines. I just assume slash trust maybe the smarter voice. And also I am again, I am the white man in the scenario, so I do have to take a step back and listen to
Oh, if you thought I'm sitting here saying that
well,
as a,
I
I
wasn't
told
gonna
you,
challenge you.
I'm in the
I
same
wasn't
boat
gonna
as you,
challenge
but
you
then
for it. But but like yeah, like there has to be like at least a discussion is warranted of just like it's not is it directly mocking a Jamaican person?
no more than the
Not that I know of, other than just like, hey, he's doing a terrible stereotypical accent.
yeah, stereotypical accent, and he's smoking weed. Not all Jamaicans smoke weed, but
That's right, he is smoking weed.
yeah,
He is lighting a big ass blunt.
that's it.
Um,
I'm sure that from the ones that I've known, not all of them, but from the ones I've known, I'm sure there is a good chunk of the Jamaican population that does. Same thing, like there's different types of black people or white people. My thing is, even if he was making a mockery of Jamaicans to an extent, it was no more than the guy that's like, I'm a priest, but I'm Irish, so I drink even though I'm a priest and stuff. Or the freaking I'm Swedish. Like her attempt at being Swedish. Like it was stereotypes, or even Eddie Murphy being a Cambodian. I don't know if it's every Cambodian, you know what I mean, acts that way or not. It's just laugh, damn it. It's not that deep. That's how I
mhm.
feel. It's not
Yeah,
that deep. They were clearly, like you said, them being bad at their job and being these things was part of the joke. Like the guy clearly could tell, okay,
mhm.
this is these motherfuckers. I had
Yeah.
to deal with each and every one of you.
Like like yeah, I again, and it's 1983.
Also, it's
So
1983.
you're having this discussion in 1983,
We're not even
and
born yet.
as like I feel like it also depends on how we came to this moment, like which we can't know, but like did it start with let's get Dan Aykroyd in blackface and then work backwards from there? If that's the case, I feel like
That's
that's
super
potentially
racist.
yeah, that's
That's
that,
super racist.
that
All
Um,
right, I got an
but
idea to get you a
if they're
blackface.
writing out this script and they have this scenario, okay, so now everybody's gonna really clumsily get into, like, they think that they're doing this big secret agent operation, but actually the whole time the fucking Bleecker guy is like, these fucking idiot. All right, I guess I'll play along for a minute. We'll see what's going on here. If they're going through that organically, and then they get to the point of like, all right, well, what can Dan Aykroyd do? This he's interacted with this guy multiple times. They know each other's faces. Like, he's gonna know that it's Dan Aykroyd. Like,
Yeah.
and then you just in 1983,
What's the biggest shock value?
you come
Hey,
up with the idea for him to play a Jamaican person. I
sometimes,
don't know. It's not the worst thing in the world, kind of
yeah.
thing.
Sometimes you go to somebody, you like, what would be the funniest thing in the world for you to do as a costume? Be the other race. I've had people tell me it'd be hilarious if I was a white guy for a day. Uh, that was high school Halloween, one of the
Oh,
years.
yeah.
Y'all
Mm.
convinced me to be a white guy for Halloween. It was hilarious.
I don't know what you're
Anyway,
talking about.
I do. That's why I'm talking about it.
I wasn't involved in
So
that.
I'm talking about it to help your point. So shut up. Anyway, but no,
I wasn't trying to make you white. I
the
was trying to make you one of our teachers. I thought it would be funny if you were one of our teachers, a
instead of a
specific
white
teacher
guy.
who also happened to be white.
No, I'm pretty sure the one that you tried to make that teacher. You know what? We're not gonna talk about this. We're not gonna talk about this.
Yeah.
But the movie, yeah, it had the climax with the stock breaking. And let me tell you, stock breaking is something that I've had explained to me numerous times. I do understand the basics of it, but it's hard enough when I got an app to be like, do I buy or sell now? Being in a room with like 80,000 people just screaming, like back in the 90s, no, 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 no. Now y'all can have that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Y'all deserve y'all.
I feel like that's even tamer than the reality of a stockroom floor that I've seen on, like,
Hmm.
different news specials or something explaining the process or stuff like that. Like, I don't understand how any of it happens. Like, and I don't know if any of them do. I feel like we are
Gambling.
riding this
It's
fucking cloud
legalized
of
gambling.
like make believe. Like,
Yes.
it's
It's
insane.
legalized gambling with make money that you can with fake money that you can turn into real money.
But somehow the entire world and everything we do has managed to revolve around it.
Yeah,
Like,
because the second rumors come up about something positively or negatively, people are either going to want to acquire or get rid of it.
it's
Like if you keep spreading rumors that the cost of money is going to be nothing, so you better invest in silver. Silver's raising. You better see silver's raising. I have a coworker that's been advising me about the silver stock every day, and I'm like, I still don't have enough money to afford a stock, but thank you. But yeah, no, that climax, and I was like, okay. I saw in the Eddie Murphy documentary the like him and Dan Aykroyd looking back at the rich dudes like in their moment of triumph, like, aha, motherfuckers. So I'm like, how do we get to this scene? Is it something where they fucked? I'm like, I thought they might have fucked up the briefcase switching somehow, and it was gonna be announced that like this just in, what the rich motherfuckers wanted to happen happened. But somehow with them buying low like they did, you know, in the last minute, that last minute hike, they already had like thousands that they bought when it got real low. And then suddenly it's like, oh, that's how you did it. You turned it. But then I'm like, oh no, this it's just literally it dropped and now they got a bunch. Cool. I'm confused, but they won. Whee!
Like they they made Duke and Duke buy all of theirs at the super high price, and then they bought all of their orange stock. So they now own a big chunk of orange stock that they bought at like the record lowest price it's ever been, kind of thing. So
And since
like,
it's just orange juice, since it's just frozen concentrated orange juice, it's gonna go back up,
right,
and
kind
they're
of, yeah,
gonna have a shit
exactly.
ton. Okay.
Yeah, because like the Duke and Duke were buying at 140, and Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd bought at 20. So even if it stabilizes to like 60,
That's
they're
triple.
right.
And if it's 140, that's 70 times the amount of money.
And the amount of shares that they were able to buy, potentially with all of the money in Eddie Murphy's bank account, probably from
From
the
the
Duke and
switcheroo.
Duke business, uh the lady's entire life savings and the butler's entire life savings. They're able to buy at whatever dollars a share. So yeah, I
They win.
yeah. And then in the first half, they're also actively buying for Duke and Duke, I think still. Like the
Something
Duke
like
and Duke
that.
has their trader on the floor, but I think Eddie Murphy is also technically still a Duke and Duke person
Yeah.
in that moment, kind of thing. So because they're still making commotion at the buying at the selling they're selling in the early moments.
Yeah.
Um uh yeah, I'm not sure.
We just made $37,000.
There's a part of my brain that almost refuses to get involved with it, like to learn it, because like there's been several people in my life just like you, like oh man, you got to get in the stocks, like that's how you make the money and blah blah blah, and like you can do this, do X, Y, and Z, and it's I don't want to just join the system that is terrible and not the system that we should be under. I don't know, but it's not helping me any with my silent protests of non-involvement. Like it's not me not getting involved is not like the phones aren't ringing in Wall Street like Bill in St. Louis doesn't want to trade, so let's close up shop. Like that's not happening. So I'm just being this idiot who's like, no, I won't get involved because it's a horrible manipulative system that's literally destroying our world and our culture and everything we know. Like,
I'm no truistic. I don't know if I'm altruistic. So I probably would at least just to get some money in my pocket, like get stocks. I don't think I could ever go full with Leonardo DiCaprio, but it's like,
I
yeah, but
almost
the
jumped in
problem
the
is,
AMC GameStop
yeah, the problem is, I
run.
would have too if I had the money in my pocket to do so. That was me. It's like I understand you gotta spend money to make money, but in order to spend money, you gotta have money. And that's the way the world works. Not saying it's right, just saying it's true. But yeah, no, speaking of money, the rich people lose it all, and that's how they end up homeless and coming to America.
That's
Whatever.
right, which
We're
is the part
back.
of the movie that you knew.
Yeah, I knew the rich guys got screwed over somehow, and that Eddie Murphy then, as a different person in his universe, gives them money and they're right back to being rich,
That's
or at the
right.
very
Yeah.
least,
It also
or
means that
actually
this
with
is
them being
connected.
stock,
This is
yeah,
within universe.
yeah, actually with them being stockbrokers, all they really need is that, and they can buy a fuck ton of some stock at a low thing and be back right to where the fuck
Potentially,
they
yeah.
were. Yeah,
They've lost their seat, but yeah, they did just have to be a normal investor again.
yeah, but
Like they'd have to
yeah,
go through a brokerage firm and all of that. They'd just be a normal person.
things
But
can
yeah,
change overnight for them.
they could bootstrap themselves back up in theory.
Yeah, pick yourselves up by the bootstraps. Back in your day, you used to do that.
Right. It's not that you were born into a family that founded the stock exchange and that you just immediately like
Yeah,
funny that the two brothers born into absolute premium American wealth had a nature versus nurture debate.
that is kind of funny though.
All right, so it sounds like I
Yeah,
mean,
I
yeah.
enjoyed the movie. Did I expected I will say I expected it to be funnier due to the fact that I guess its reputation precedes it to such a level.
Hmm.
But the moments that really hit, and it's got a lot of giggles and cool little when you talk about it and talking points to it. And I really enjoyed the movie. Coming to
Yeah.
America still like above it for me though.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, I wasn't saying that this was, I mean, I everything that I said about Trading Places, I would say about Coming to America as well. Of like staple American comedies kind of thing just exists in like as far
Hmm.
as our generation goes, it just feels like something that is just on.
Yeah.
Like um uh uh so yeah, if I had to rank them, I would also probably put Coming to America above this one. Coming to America also is several years later. I think this there's a little bit of 1983 still, like
Yeah.
some of your slower complaints, like our pace is just continually, gradually picking up every single year until obviously now where we can barely hold our attention for 3 seconds before there has to be a jump cut to something else. Um, but no, I mean, yeah, this. I mean, Eddie Murphy's performance specifically. Thinking about it from that lens after the documentary that we watched last week, it is. It's just. It is on like. I. 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 I, I see it on a different level now of just like what he's doing and just how casual and effortless everything is
I
and
can
how
agree with that.
like just something as simple as him slowly pocketing things as he's having the conversation with the guys at the start um uh is so fucking funny. I was laughing. I laughed out loud a bunch of times at this movie.
Yeah.
I can't tell you now that we have a slightly differentiating opinion, even though you still also like the movie. I now wonder how much of it is nostalgia based potentially, which can always happen. We've covered that. We've discussed that before, where that starts to be a hard judge of things sometimes. But yeah, I love this movie. I think it's great when it's still a great one, and it doesn't. With the amount of times I've watched it, it's one of those that doesn't really depreciate that much.
I will agree with
It
that.
holds over time. The 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 brief use of an N word and a not fuck F word do
Part of that worst when I said product of its time for better or
right.
worse.
It does present itself as a product of its time in moments, but sadly, unfortunately, overall, the main themes of the film and the main story plot of the film could happen tomorrow.
True.
But which makes me think that they're absolutely going to remake this in the next 5 years. I feel like we're at that point where it's come up on in the cycle. Um, yeah, I'm glad we watched it. Glad you enjoyed it. What are we gonna do next week?
Well, I believe in a similar vein to me having seen clips of this, but hadn't really seen it from start to finish. You mentioned another Eddie Murphy film that you hadn't seen
Are we
all
doing
the
Eddie Murphy
way.
month?
I don't know if we're doing Eddie Murphy month, but we're definitely doing Eddie Murphy 3 weeks in a row. Oh, Life, I believe you said you hadn't seen all the way, right?
I listed it as one of those that I'm pretty sure I've only seen clips of, but
Yeah.
could be one of those that I start to get into and I'm like, oh yeah, Omari, I think I've actually just watched all of this movie, but potentially. Only like I would put it at less than 50%.
Fair. I'm doing it anyway.
Yeah,
Why not?
I think it's fine.
This is Eddie Murphy. Eddie
This is the game
Murphy.
that we have to play with our back and forth.
Doing this for 4 years just about. So, that said, it should still be a fun time. That's life, baby. So, if you want to see us talk about other stuff on this channel, I already mentioned, go ahead and check it out. We got shows like this one where we talk about various types of media. We have a show that we just kind of do what we want with any guest that we have, called Mock Draft. Usually, we have a lot of wrestling related content on there as well. Shows up periodically on Mondays. On Wednesdays, we may have a show on the channel called Whatever We Want Podcast with me and Super Jazz talking about just that. And on Saturdays, we have You Don't Watch Sports, two guys, three topics help you sprinkle with information into your casual sports conversation. Be your guiding light to the sea that is sports talk. Bill, you got anything else you want to say? Oh, I have a Twitter and Twitch, whatever. Bill, you got anything else you want to say to the folks? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Adios.